Yeah, here you go.
Chicka.
Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck.
Oh, that was perfect.
They call me Johnny Fatcock here, and I'm here to tell you.
Hi, I'm...
Shut up. I'm not done. Okay, you can go. Go ahead.
I'm Rav, and welcome to our podcast. So, Johnny, you don't mind if I call you Johnny?
Call me John Boy.
John Boy. We're on episode 71.
Dude, that's my favorite weed number.
Play the 71 sound effect. You know the one. Oh, wow, we got it live. Beautiful.
Yeah. I played that on my harmonica. That was when you said play it, I thought that that's what you wanted.
It's beautiful. Your harmonica sounds amazing. How you been, man? How you been, buddy?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Just just fighting existential dread and
Cool, don't care.
been gardening.
I've been good too, man.
Okay, yeah, good. I'm glad you're good. I wasn't gonna ask.
I know, that's why I had to intervene.
I'm glad you keep me informed on these things, because honestly, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I have to keep you informed. So, man, it's been a fun week for me personally. I've streamed for the first time.
I was there.
I've now streamed twice. Last time I streamed was yesterday. And by the time this episode comes out, I would have streamed probably twice more. Please continue to escalate it as I continue to inform you of my plans.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
It sounds like a very horny Yoda. I don't know why.
It's like Yoda when he's yiked up off a bean.
Yeah,
and just ready to fuck.
Yoda off that bean. Facts. Yeah, and it's been hella fun, man. And I've been doing it. Honestly, the person who put me on to streaming was you. As you do with many things.
I won't take all the credit, but I need my money.
It's been great. I was worried going into it that I wouldn't have enough knowledge, but you helped me out with some of the stuff for sure. YouTube helped out as well with a lot of the technical setup stuff. And the audience has been very patient with me. So it's been super fun, man.
They're a patient crowd.
I think we both have very patient crowds, probably because it's more or less the same crowd. But it's been great. I can't complain. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that today. Just streaming in general. I know we've talked about it a few episodes ago, but now that we're both vets,
we're both certified veteran streamers.
Yeah, I got 2 streams under my belt. I'm a vet. Move over, ninja.
Wow.
Why are you named Ninja anyway? That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, dude. You don't know a single lick about martial arts, I'd bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna
fraud.
Fuck Ninja up when I see him. No disrespect.
But I will say, man, I popped in, obviously, on your first stream. I saw the VOD on the second stream because your boy was cooking food the whole time. But yeah, dude, the first stream, well, both of them were really tight. But it was really cool to, like, your first stream, you really came out dick swinging. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You really did the thing. And especially, like, I know that some people might see this as a detriment, but I think that those people are stupid. The whole part where you're having technical difficulties
the first
was fucking hilarious. And so, but I will say that I cursed myself, or you cursed me. I can't tell who, because I recall you having some pretty bad technical difficulties, and then me being on the phone with you on stream, and I said to you, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Yeah.
Which I think is good advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recall saying dead ass, and you said nah, and I said, well, shut the fuck up then.
It hurt my feelings that you said that because
you see you were making fun of me, and I don't believe in karma. But you had
How was I making fun of
but
you?
you ended up having way worse technical issues than me the following day, right?
Okay, you say way worse technical issues. Like I had to restart my computer.
I didn't have to do all that. I stayed in stream. I just had to figure out why Reason crashed my audio.
Let's do this. You had like what was it? Your first 3 hours of your stream was you going, Reason.
The first half hour, I only streamed for 2 hours. So the first half hour, I was talking to you.
The first whole 3 hours, you were fucking scrambling on Reason trying to figure it out.
The first half a day, yeah.
Yeah, the first week was just you on.
Yeah. First year was a little rough.
I saw, but no. So mine wasn't. I wouldn't say that much worse. It was just I had to restart my shit and then I got back on. But that's the first time I've had to like end stream because everything was fucked up. Actually, that's a lie. I did have a problem one time because I couldn't get Majora's Mask to work because of my controller. My controller was not working, and then I just stopped. And then came back and we didn't play that. We played something else.
Have you ever had your microphone just straight up cut out on you and like for like a few seconds and then come back? Because that's the only technical issue I had during yesterday's stream. And I think it might be because I wasn't using a pop filter because I'm pretty sure it was right after like a very loud plosive.
Yeah.
It just kind of like went.
That happens to me if I record and like it, even with the pop filter, if it like clips. Sometimes it just straight up just stops for a minute.
Yeah.
I say for a minute for maybe like 4 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's probably what happened on my end.
Yeah.
Yesterday. But aside from that, this time around, I didn't have any technical difficulties really. It was fun. It was great. And I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, my style or approach. I think the one thing that you and I both have in common is that our streams are pretty chill. And I was really worried coming into this that I would just end up being like, Rav's just biting Bill. He's like a Bill clone.
Which you are.
Right. But I feel like our streams are very different, luckily. Fortunately, they're very different. They're both wholesome and chill, but still very different in the way like that we operate. Our sense of humor, there's an overlap, but mine's... Like there's still like the subtle differences. Like as you know, what we do on here, for instance, on Chibi Chubby, in general, the sort of like the roles that we fulfill are largely kind of based off of like who we are as people, you know. Yeah. And so our streams, just by default, are quite different in that regard. But what is the stuff that you like doing in your streams? On twitch.tv/Kill Bill the Rapper.
I mean, honestly, my favorite, I would say that I like making beats the most, but I feel like I have this like weird kind of stress that's associated with it because like I don't want to make something bad or be boring. Like I'd rather make something bad than be like boring. And sometimes I feel like when I'm making beats and chopping stuff and getting those like I watch people like The Count make beats or like Kenny Beats make beats. And it's kind of like this quick, fun, like they're kind of playing stuff live thing. And it's not a lot of like clickety. And the way I've always made beats, like I used to use a MIDI controller, but now I just draw in my sample notes and like everything. And like a lot of it is I put things on and quantize, and then I take quantize off, and then I move things around to where it sounds like more like natural or kind of wonky. And I think that might not be the most entertaining thing for some people. I mean, obviously, like people stick around for them, so I think maybe it is. But in my head, I'm like stressed out. Like, is this boring? So honestly, my favorite thing to do is just like play an old game or like listen to people's music. That's become a new thing. I've like the last stream we did, which was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Like I've done this recurring thing where I just like listen to beats and songs that people submit. And it was a lot of really dope people in there. Like I was super surprised the amount of talent just like chilling in my chat. So
right.
I'm just saying my chat's more talented than your chat. That's all I'm saying. It's
I mean, I had the moment like during yesterday's chat when Mitch dropped something like there was a beat that he linked. I was like, I was basically, I don't know how we got to it, but I started talking. People were like, I really don't remember how it started, but I just started talking about rapping. Oh, I think somebody asked, what is the difference between writing and freestyling? And are they linked? And can one help the other? And it's sort of, we went from there into sort of expanding beyond that. I said a lot of the things that I say on these podcasts, I said that I feel like if you train, like if you do a lot of writing, that can assist your freestyling, but I don't feel like your freestyling can really assist your writing process.
Yeah.
You know, it's a one-way street. And then, so I was going to give him some examples of like freestyling and stuff, and I asked people for links to beats. And one of the links was Mitch, one of his beats, and it was so dope, and I'm 100% using it.
Oh yeah. Mitch sent me a beat the other day on stream, and we listened to it. It was really good. I was pleasantly surprised.
People are super talented. Yeah, it's crazy to see, and there were like other people too. I think it's impressive just how much. Yeah, like you know, you don't think about it, but everybody's doing. Not everybody, but a lot of people are, you know, making music or making videos or drawing, or they like to take photographs. Like a lot of people are very creatively inclined within our audience, and it's just super tight.
It is tight. I agree, and
so
I concur.
You're saying you like listening to people's beats or music in general and playing games, right?
Yes.
What do you like about those things? What do you think? What are the things that you like about gaming, and what are the things that you like about listening to people's music?
Well, the things I like about gaming, I mean, I'm a true gamer, you know? I wake up, I drink gamer juice, which is just Mountain Dew, and I think to myself every morning, okay, seriously. No, so I like, the thing I like about the gaming stuff is, especially because a lot of times we'll do it after beats, and that's kind of like the beat stuff is, it feels like I'm like trying to entertain people.
Right. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort. And then when I'm playing a game, it feels just kind of like, all right, this is just me chilling, and it just feels like I'm just chilling with friends, you know? And a lot of the people in the chat, I consider friends now.
Yeah.
You know, that they're like recurring people that I'd like I talk to them in DMs and shit, you know? So it's kind of like that just seems, it's just super chill. And then the listening to music thing, that kind of like brought this whole sense of community to everything, because there's like recurring people in the chat that are just chilling there, but they're also just really dope musicians. And it's cool to see, like, I don't know, like I'll get a submission from someone, and then people in the chat will all be like, oh, this is gonna slap. Like everyone knows like who that person is now. And
all right, there's like it's become really truly a community at this point.
And it reminds me of kind of like when I first started making music, and like when everybody was all clicked up in the NG days,
Tumblr and NG. And,
yeah. It reminds me of that whole like, oh, you know this person, so you know this person. And it's this kind of rabbit hole of producers and rappers and stuff. And that's tight. I feel like that's like a real cool thing. And a lot of the music is real different from like what we make. And so it's this cool like crossover appeal. Like some people in there just like sing, and some people like they play instruments, and some people do comedy stuff. So it's cool. Like I like that a lot. Like I thought I wasn't gonna like it. When I first did it, I was real scared because I was afraid that it was gonna be like mostly bad. You know what I mean? Like anytime you I feel like if you're a person who like has fans and like raps on the internet, then it's going to be like a lot of people, a lot of kids who never made music before are going to be like, oh, I'm going to impress him. And then they'll make their first song just for the stream, you know.
Oh,
and then
wow.
you'll be like, oh, like that's kind of like what I thought was gonna happen, and it like happened a little bit, but not too bad, you know. And then now that it's like a recurring thing, like you get less and less of like newbies doing it, which is fine too. If like someone wants to submit something that they've never made, like a few people will be like, yo, this is my first attempt at anything. What do you think? And then sometimes they'll be pretty cool, you know, but definitely better than when I first started. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I like the sense of community, and I like the feeling like I'm just chilling with friends online. That's
And
fun.
is that similar? That carries over to the gaming stuff too, right? Because it's just like you're usually playing games that either you already love or something, right? I'm assuming, so that it's sort of you're paying attention to it, but you're also able to engage with the chat.
Yeah,
while you're at it?
definitely. I one of the things I thought was really funny was like I haven't played Majora's Mask in a while, and I couldn't remember how to do some things, and I thought that there was going to be like one or two Majora's Mask experts in my chat when I kept saying, "What do I do here? What do I do?" And
Right.
no one knew, like no one, and so it was just this really. I was so tired after that day because I'd been cleaning my house all day. And it was like 1:30 a.m. and I'm sitting there just running around in circles trying to figure out what to do on Majora's Mask. And I'd say, what do you do? And then people would just like give me the wrong
Suggestions.
answers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like suggestions would be like wrong. And like it was really funny. But
Yeah.
it's
That
cool.
sounds like fun. I haven't played any games yet, and I don't know when I eventually will. And if I do play games, it'll be something that obviously means something to me, or I could see being
Yeah.
entertaining for others and myself. Because if you, as the streamer, in the moment, if you're not entertained, then it's just like not a fun experience, I would imagine. I haven't had that
Well, I
yet.
feel like if you're not entertained, they're not going to be entertained.
Right. You know, I agree. So I can't wait to eventually try playing a game. I haven't been doing much of like the music making stuff on my stream. What I've enjoyed the most is so far, actually, yesterday, during the last hour of the stream, I just kind of ended up just talking with the chat and just had like chill music in the background. And yeah, it was just candid about a lot of my experiences, and people were candid about their experiences and thoughts. And it was just like it felt like a group therapy exercise, you know? And
Yeah,
it was
for sure.
incredibly cathartic. And it was reassuring that, you know, I really love the sense of humor that a lot of the audience has. But it's also good it's reassuring to see that, like, oh, but they're also people, you know? Like, during that last hour, no one was memeing.
Yeah.
And these people all have a good sense of humor, but they knew, like, oh, this is, I don't know, we were all opening up, and it felt really dope and super chill, and time just fucking flew. I was like, holy shit, it's already this late. I gotta get food. So it's been super fun, and I can't wait to see what other stuff sort of clicks with me and clicks with the audience. And yeah, is there something you would like to do that you haven't done on a stream yet?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, well, I say like to do. There's a lot of games that I'd like to play that I haven't played.
For example.
Like, just, I don't know. I feel like I've just gotten started with that. Like, but one of the things I'd love to do is like collab streams. Like, I feel like we should do a collab stream at some point. I know Frank was talking about doing a collab stream.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
like a few other, like Harris Cole, a producer who's like really good, like hit me up to do a like beat making collab stream. And like,
Yeah.
I would be super down to do stuff like that. It seems a little bit stressful in the sense of setting it up, but I feel like when I get everything set up, it'll be kind of like, oh, this is a thing that we could do regularly, and there's like a system for it, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like the idea of it not just being me sometimes, you know, having like almost like a co-host or like a guest
Right, that really helped during when I was having technical issues on my first stream. The fact that I had you on the phone, I think, was great because then I could sometimes more or less try to focus on troubleshooting things while you were helping, with filling, I don't know, with helping with the discussion, making fun of me and pissing me off. Calling me names and hurting me a lot in front of my audience. It was great. It was fun. I can't wait to do more of that.
Bless you. I'm gonna leave that in.
Why? Thank you. Great. What was it? Yeah. So, like, what games would you like to play that you haven't yet played? If you don't mind me asking, are there some that you have in mind that, like, oh yeah, this will probably be fun, or this is something I'd like to do?
Like all the ones that I want to play that are
they like from your childhood mostly? Yes,
and there's like games from my childhood and games that like mean a lot to me, and I feel like
Mega Man.
Oh yeah, Mega Man. But like I really want to play like some kind of obscure N64 games that I really enjoyed. Like I wouldn't even say like really this is really obscure, but I really want to play through the SD mode of Flying Dragon, which is like did you ever play Flying Dragon?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you know that it's like kind of like that RPG. Like a fighting game with RPG elements, and
yeah, it's dope.
That was always like one of my favorite games when I was a kid, and I love the aesthetic of it. And a lot of like somebody in chat even brought it up, like, "Oh, you should play Flying Dragon." I was like, "Holy fuck! Someone else has played this game."
I think that'd be great. That'd be so good. I love the aesthetic that it had, and I don't know, everything about it would be super dope.
The shop is my favorite. Like going into the shop and then the girl speaking to you in Japanese, that always weirded me out. I was just like, why is she not speaking English as a kid? Like I was so confused. I was like, it's an English game, why is she speaking Japanese? And I didn't know that. I didn't understand how that worked. But I just love that era of like low poly graphics. The PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 era. Yeah. Dreamcast and Sega Saturn. I don't know why. I know to a lot of people it's like super ugly, like Mario 64. I don't think so.
And Flying Dragon, but there's something about it that's super appealing to me, and I really enjoy it.
I think that was like the best. I think, well, some of the PS1 games are pretty ugly, but like, well, I guess some of the N64 ones are too, but there was a certain aesthetic of N60, like, one of my favorite games ever was Final Fantasy VIII. And if you like go back and play the original Final Fantasy VIII, now the PC version or the remake on PS1, you're like, wow, this is a fucking ugly game, but it's beautiful. But like I love for the most part, that aesthetic. I guess it was because not only just because it reminds me of being a kid, but also it had this like, I think that was like the correct shading on things and the correct, like it had this really cool vibe about it that was like very video gamey, if that makes any sense. And there, like, you didn't see that because if you look at like games now, it just looks like a movie, you know, like you like, oh wow, it looks like I'm playing I'm playing like a 3D movie, you know. It's like games then like it was very different from that. Like it didn't look like FMV. It was just like, oh, this is the game part.
I wonder if it's because it's partially gamey, or if also because it's like a lot of is left to the imagination, kind of. But also because to me it was like almost like this alien dimension, you know, like Mario 64 looks like nothing in real life looks like that. I mean, thank God, right? But at the same time, there's something about it that just because it was so foreign, it felt like an escape. And I'm super drawn towards it. You know, that's why my stream intro, I have the sort of an homage to Mario 64 title screen. But with like my head and everything.
That shit looks so clean.
Thank you, man. Because I'm like super big on that low poly era, and I think I'm maybe I assume that a lot of it is just nostalgia, and
Yeah.
I look at it and there's like, I sort of reclaim a bit of a innocence or something. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think it probably is a mixture of like nostalgia, but also there was just a lot of good games that came out around that time. And I think it's also an association thing. It's no longer just nostalgia. If most of your favorite games had this similar look, because it just happened to be like, like the N64 had a really good run of games. PS1 had a really good run of games. Saturn had a really good run of games. And all those, it all reminds you of that time. But also, it's like you're conditioned to be like, this is good. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way about like, but it also has like a very different feel from like 8-bit and 16-bit games. And I feel like there's like there's an aesthetic that comes with each one of those that have a very different feeling that could be used now in a different way. But you don't see as much of that. You don't see as much of you see people do 8-bit, like our pixel graphics all the time. But I don't think you see as much like games trying to emulate like PS1 era graphics, which I think we should have more of. Maybe I'm ignorant to it. Maybe that is a whole thing.
It should be a thing in my opinion too, because you're right. 8-bit, 16-bit, those things people are always drawn towards recreating that, and that's because it has a very timeless feel about it, right? Yeah. Honestly, A Link to the Past is just it's going to age better visually than something like Ocarina of Time, because it still looks gorgeous, right? Because it was sort of perfect for 2D,
Yeah.
But then in 3D, and again, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they have like this look that I'm super gorgeous to me, and I'm attracted to. But I know that to the average person, that might not age as well, Again, Wind Waker is a great example of something that is aging very well because of the cell shading technique that they went with, which again more stylized it, made it more cartoony, made it work in 3D in a way that just like looked like it belonged. But I wonder if it's partially because of that. I mean, we were playing those horror games. What were they?
Puppet Combo. I was about to bring those up.
Puppet Combo.
Those
because that's
were
kind of a similar thing.
Well, they even had it down to. I could tell that they were really trying to go for that PS1 effect, because if you look at the walls, they do the wall warping. Like, that's like a problem that a lot of PS1 games had. Like, if you. I guess it was like a scaling issue or something. But as you walk by walls, the walls would kind of warp to your screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, they had to have done this intentionally, because it's like it looks very, and I think that worked out really well. And that's also probably why I like those games so much. Like I love the Nun Massacre game. Yeah. That was like a really cool
and the
vibe.
CRT screen effects and everything. And something about
perfect.
that era of games. It's I was watching somebody play Resident Evil 3, the new one, and it looks gorgeous, It looks beautiful, it looks fun, but it didn't feel scary at all, like watching it at least. Yeah. And I think there were moments that were scary, but I think the reason the zombies at least weren't scary to me and stuff like that is because of how good they looked. And I think I've been desensitized through like stuff like Walking Dead and all that. Whereas like with the older games, there's something terrifying about things that look worse. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like the inability to move as much, that they're all moving at a specific pace and that they look kind of bad. There's something about it that was scarier to me because it looks more foreign. You kind of have to again fill in the blanks.
I also think that this is a recurring theme with especially survival horror games in that era of you can't just run away from something. You have to be able to run away from something within the limitations of the controls. And that's why I think Resident Evil worked so well at the time is because you had to like stop and turn and walk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that whole like there's a zombie in the room with you. You have to stop, turn, and walk. It was really unforgiving. And I think now, like I've been playing through Resident Evil 2 with my girlfriend's niece, and she loves it. Okay, like she's I think she's like just the right. She's like I think she's like 12 or 13, which is the best age to play. I don't give a fuck if it's rated M. That's the best age to play a Resident Evil game. Yeah, and that's like when I played them, and I turned out okay except for the Twitch. So, yeah, but like, I don't know, like, you had to work within those limitations, and watching her play through Resident Evil 2, it's fantastic. The remake is great. Like it's such a good super game. Sick.
Yeah,
it's really good. They were really faithful to it, and it feels fun. But I was looking at it, and she's scared by it. Like obviously she's 12. Like she's like, I can't believe I got away from him. You know, it's like seeing her reaction is funny. But like to me, I'm sitting there just like, these kids got it easy, man. Like you fucking it doesn't feel like you're like inputting a fucking Konami code every time you want to turn around. You know what I mean? And I think that part of Resident Evil made it scary. This whole like you can't. It's almost like you're invested in the character and you are trying to save that character, but you have to work within the confines of the physics of that world, and it's much harder.
It's exactly. It's very much that. And events, the way the events were, like timed events and everything were carried out, were scarier because of the limitations, I guess, the developers had. Because now, at least again, I haven't watched the full Resident Evil 3 playthrough. I'm watching the Game Grumps. But from what I saw, like I got halfway through the first episode or watched the full first episode, it seemed like oftentimes whenever Nemesis appeared, there would be like, oh, it looks dope and animated and just like crazy, but literally all Aaron's doing is holding up and he's running through this hole, you know? And it's like, oh, that's cool. It looks amazing. If somebody's watching it, it's great. But does it feel as scary? Because you know, like if the Nemesis was right there and the cutscene just ended and you're holding up, like there's no way you're not gonna survive. You know, it's kind of like everything's timed just right, and then they'll be like, oh, you have to press this at the exact time that the game wants you to. You know, it'll be like putting the keys into the car, trying to start the car, and it's like, oh no, Nemesis is approaching. You try once, then the camera shifts to Nemesis. You try again, the camera shifts to Nemesis. It's clear that on the third time it's going to work. You know, it's timed like that, and it's great, and it's stressful if it were a movie. But to me, from the perspective of someone who's like playing it, it's much scarier to me when, oh fuck, I hear the music. Oh shit, I see Nemesis over there. I know he's there. And it's like, I know how he moves. I know how I move. And I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know, like I know that I can easily fuck up if I get too stressed and I accidentally move like this. Like my character's gonna be stuck in the corner. I'm gonna panic, and you know what I mean? Like it felt more like they didn't time it with it in mind, like with you like having. You can only do this or you could do that. I don't know. It felt like there were so many more ways of fucking up. Like stress would get to you. Like feeling stressed out and then just like your hands getting sweaty and your fingers like pressing the wrong buttons was something like that felt like a real thing. You know, with Metroid Fusion, when you enter a room and the music is like, without spoiling Metroid Fusion for people, but you know what you know what I mean. Like you hear the music and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, like you know some shit's about to go down. I gotta say, did you get a chance to play any of Resident Evil 7?
No, I got to watch it a little bit. That looks amazing. That looks
great.
Legitimately
it's
scary.
So good. It is so fucking good, man. I was like blown away because I thought I was gonna dislike it. Like I got it because it was on sale, and for some reason, I know the reviews were pretty good. And I was like,
but 5 and 6 were so mediocre.
I came off because I remember my friend had 5 and I hated it. And then I didn't like hate it, but it was just kind of like, you know, and then like I played the demo for 6 and I was like even more, you know, and I was like, okay, like this franchise is kind of like just I'm losing interest, you know, and then they dropped 7, and me and Joe played through it, and that shit was so much fun.
That looks frightening.
It was, and they really. It didn't feel at all like what you are describing. I mean, obviously there were cinematic portions, but it was more like the jump scares were good. They weren't like cheap. You know what I mean? Yeah. It didn't feel like, oh, they fucking got me. You know what I mean? It was they were all like very thrilling. And then just the whole vibe of it, the you being in the house, the first person I think serves it very well. I think that it wouldn't have worked if it wasn't first person. And I don't know. It just seemed like a really good one. I want them to do more games like that. Like I love the 2 remake. I have the 3 remake and I haven't played it yet because I wanted to play it on stream, but it wasn't working on my monitor for some reason. Like it wouldn't go to my external monitor. My second one. See. I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't figure it out. And so I was just like, well, fuck this game. And I just haven't played it since. So
I see.
I need to play it. But
Resident Evil 7 definitely looked great. And I remember at the time thinking, like, I wonder if PT had any sort of bearing on the decision for the developers, you know? Because it felt like Kojima was really onto something with that first-person reinterpretation of an existing series, you know, Silent Hill. That's why I'd really love to see Kojima do a full-fledged like horror game, because I feel like it would be such a well-suited, and that was crazy. PT was such a crazy collaboration. Just think about the people that were involved in that. Kojima,
it was him and Guillermo,
Junji
right?
Ito. Yeah,
was
him,
Ito?
Guillermo,
he was.
Junji
I didn't know
Ito.
That.
Yeah, Junji Ito was on it, and of course, what's his name? God, how could I forget his name? The actor from Walking Dead.
Oh, Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Yeah, here we go. We both remembered it. Yeah, he, you know, I mean, he was involved in the capacity of, like, I guess as an actor and stuff, right? But people to this day are still finding, like, weird shit about it that they didn't know, like, years ago. And that game's really old now, and it wasn't even a full-on game. And just imagining, like, Kojima just being the nerd that he is and trying to put a whole lot of stuff into his games. That has like meaning specific to him.
I think why it will work so well is Kojima's always had an attention to detail, and I think the real selling point of horror games is those, or any kind of horror, anything, is the attention to those little details, because those little details are going to be like where people find fault in what makes it not scary. Or like, I love, one of the things I really liked about PT is I love like gaming mysteries. I love watching those about like old N64 games, and most of them are bullshit. You know, like did you know you could get Ganondorf's horse in Ocarina of Time, and if you did this, you know, like weird little things that aren't.
Did you know you could castrate Luigi in Mario Party 4? Yeah.
Okay, well, we all knew that, but you know, that's
nuisance.
Yeah, but I think that one of the things that has always appealed to Metal Gear, appealed to me about Metal Gear was the little details, and the fact that like you can always find something new. And if they did a whole horror game like that, I really just wish PT could have been a real thing, like this. You know, what it could have been. You know, I mourn every day.
It's crazy to see that. So I hope that whatever Kojima's working on next is a horror game. I mean, I'll be interested regardless of what he does, but I just feel like Kojima's really good at a lot of stuff, and and he likes to, and a lot of the times this is convoluted stuff. A lot of people, you know, criticize Kojima for the convoluted stuff and preachy stuff. A lot of people kind of like Kojima because of that. This is kind of essentially who he is as a game developer. But I feel like with horror, I could really see his style working, especially again if he gets Junji Ito, Guillermo del Toro on board again. You know.
Yes.
Like
I would.
I feel like those
that'd
two
be so
people
good.
could. Yeah, could you imagine? What a dream team, right? Like for a horror game, it's incredible. So I think he could definitely pull something off like that.
I just don't understand. Like, was the reason why that didn't happen was because of him leaving Konami? Was that it?
Yeah, Konami fired him.
Well, that's some pussy shit. Fuck Konami,
Well,
bro.
because okay, but you have to think from their perspective. Most of their money comes in from pachinko machines, right? That's most of their income, and that's why they've been dropping all their. You know, you're not gonna see many Konami games going forward. Period.
Yeah.
So they're already making a lot of money off of that, and then you're like. But, you know, Metal Gear was making them a lot of money, sure. But, like, Kojima's the type of person who'd be like, in this scene, I want the lighting to be really cool. I'm going to hit up this Hollywood director who's really good specifically at lighting and give him a $50 million budget to make the lighting good in the scene. Like, he'll do shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then Konami's just like, what did you do? What did you do? You know, they'll just be like... Our money, you know? And so that's why when he left, I remember there was so much speculation. Like, oh, who's going to grab him? I remember a lot of us were hoping Valve was going to grab him and get him to, like, work on Half-Life 3.
Oh, that would have been wild.
Been fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
That would have been insane. I still mourn that. But Sony grabbed him because Sony is like, well, we've worked with you. Like, all these Metal Gear games. Like are essentially Sony games, and you know they're like, we'll give you however much money you want, more or less. And I think his conditions were like he needed to have his own like office space, and that he could design it the way that he wanted to, and he would have all these things that would be cool for the employees, for his staff. And that's why his office is really cool. You might have seen some photos, like the entrance hall. It's like this just white room. And it's like, it looks like a spaceship. Everything's lit up, and in the middle, at the center of it, there's like a statue.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to look at that because that sounds tight.
Yeah, I gotta look. I'll send you a picture in a moment. But yeah, so he's just the way I look at him is like as like most of us, like in the realm of like, art. He's just a creative. He's constantly probably daydreaming and thinking like, wouldn't that be cool? And he pursues it. He's like, wouldn't that be cool? Let me do that. And then like he has enough of a sort of history where people will give him the money to pull those things off.
Right.
He just seems like a nerd to me, like a true fucking nerd.
Wow, what a nerd. I'm gonna give him a swirly.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a fucking blowy, and by that I mean like a blow across the face with my fist.
Yeah, dude. That's
what I mean.
I'm gonna like suck his dick, and by like suck his dick, I mean like suck his dick.
So yeah, Twitch streams, bro. Great stuff.
Dude. What do you want to do on your streams, man? You've been asking me all these questions, but what do you foresee yourself doing on the live platform besides becoming the MLG champion?
Right. I think it's still too early to tell because I really feel like I've just started and I'm still testing things out. I just want to continue trying things out and seeing how it works. I like planning ahead of time some of the stuff, like, you know, my layout for the last stream. I had like a mod audition thing where there's like an executive office room and I green screened myself into the chair and everything. I like thinking of stuff like that, and like ways I can interact with the audience that would be really exclusive to streaming, like stuff that I couldn't really do on a We Don't Suck podcast episode, or we couldn't do in a Chibi Chubby Let's Play episode, or, you know what I mean? Or I couldn't do on Instagram Live. So I've been enjoying exploring that, and I think I would like to have more community building stuff that I want to do, exercises, and just kind of having like a good balance of like chill and
kill,
just and just fun, you know. And yeah, because like that's one of the things I like about your streams. It's super chill. You have a super chill voice, and
Thank you.
The stream is paced in a very chill way where I don't feel like, whoa, kids, hey, whoa, welcome back to my Twitch. Whoa.
That's like the last thing. That's like the last thing I'd ever want to do is make like
it's just
like act like a YouTuber, not like a YouTuber, but you know what I mean, like the like stereotypical like whoa, I can't believe we're playing fucking Neon Genesis Evangelion on the fucking on the fucking N64, guys. I can't believe this game is so rare and hard to find on emulators.
Yeah. Seeing something kind of silly in a video game and just start like laughing like you're fucking insane. And,
like you see something that's like basically the equivalent of like a, you know, or like a nose exhale, you know, and you hit it with the full on. You gotta hit it with that.
Hitting them with that Final Fantasy X energy. Right.
Shit.
So yeah, and people have been telling me that my streams, that my voice is chill. And I know it's very different to yours. Yours is like very low register.
Yeah, I mean,
mine
it is a little. I would say chill is like it's a interesting word because like when I hear your voice, I just think of nails on a chalkboard and like
right, which is pretty chill to some people.
Pretty chill to some people. I'll just play. No, your voice is very chill.
Yeah, so I think I wonder if it's also because we didn't really come up on a lot of the stuff that I think maybe up-and-coming streamers do, you know, the wild and hyperactive. I think a lot of that comes from trying to grab attention and
yeah.
Like, let's say there's kids that click on your stream because they like the game and they see that you're like wacky and very animated. They're sort of like, more likely maybe to stick around. And it's worked. It's worked for a lot of people, so maybe that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it. They grow up on YouTubers that act like that. But we aren't, you know, we are on YouTube, but we're not YouTubers. We stream, but we're not streamers. We're rappers, and that's where, you know, our audience is. We're very fortunate to have an audience when we started YouTube and we started Twitch because of everything else that we've done up until now. So I don't feel like we need to be someone that we ain't, because these people like us for who we are. And if we started out of nowhere just being like, whoa, Bill, fucking kill him, dude, fucking like doing shit like that.
I love it when you do that, by the way.
I think it would make us sort of die inside, and also just like people who been listening to us or watching us would be put off by that because they'd be like, what the fuck? You know, and we are goofy a lot of the times, but it's never forced. I feel like you and I are just naturally kind of silly people, but not in an overly animated and obnoxious way. And again, I'm not hating on people that do that. It's just not my thing.
Right.
And I'm glad that I don't have to lose my voice at the end of each stream.
I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, no, I fucking, you know what I think the difference is I think that there's people that go on Twitch and they want to be streamers. And like they don't have like because we kind of had an audience from the jump. Like we had like the idea of like rappers that the people are already emotionally invested in some kind of way doing Twitch streams. I could see why people would watch them. But it's not like we're just going into this to be like, oh, I'm a streamer. Because like honestly, like I like streaming, but if like it was a gun to my head and someone was just like, you can't ever stream again if you make rap music, if you have to pick one, like I would clearly then never stream again. You know what I mean? I would just rap like, but I do think it's fun. And I think the attitude of going into it of like not caring about, see, I don't care about having like 1,000 people in the room or whatever. Like what I really care about is the people that are there having a good time. And I'm not trying to get some random person. I mean, it's cool if a random person discovers me through that, or whatever, that's cool, but that's not my goal. It's more like to entertain people that already know who I am, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? You remind me of something. Like, one thing that I've enjoyed is that I don't see how many people are watching me when I'm streaming. The only times I get to see it is when I'm like trying to click a link in the chat. That's when I'll see the number of people.
Great.
I've been enjoying that because I think there's like a danger in paying attention to the numbers. Sorry if it's a bit of a tangent, but I know like on Instagram, it would always be a thing for me. It's like hop on, like have 100 to 200 people in there, blah, blah. And then, or like, let's say I'll hop on and it'll be like 120 people and I'm talking, blah, blah. And then at some point it like goes to 99. I'm just like, damn, like I'm boring people. Even though it might have just been like, a few people left. Mm-hmm. Temporarily, it just looks like such a difference. It looks like, oh, why am I doing this? Even though I still got nearly 100 people in there still interested, and so I'm trying to not pay attention to that and focus, as you said, on just like trying to entertain the people that I know are there for me, but also try to have fun and just have a good time in general. Like that's why after each stream, I've been quickly putting together like these highlights and posting them on Twitter. Because it's like, I feel like it's making memories. I was, whenever I go through them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, this happened. And shouts out to everybody who's been clipping my stuff, because that helps inform these highlights. So I'd be like, oh shit, that was funny, or, oh, this is a moment I want to remember. It's just fun. I was worried it wouldn't be fun, but it's been super fun. I hope it continues to be fun. I know that not everything I try is going to be great, but I look forward to learning through trial and error and hopefully making more awesome memories.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel you on the numbers thing, though. Like, I think that when I first started... Because like there was like the first few where I only had, it was like way less than what I do now on there, and like I cared less. It was when I was just streaming fighters, like nothing but fighters, and I thought at that point, like I was just kind of like, okay, like I understand why people aren't coming in here. I mean, obviously it's a game, as a community, but I feel like people only watch people who are good at the game. You know what I mean? Like people who are like, like tournament level, and like I'm not really that. Right. And
it's not an open world game where you can like be silly and do different things. It's like, this is a fighting game. Like that's the thing.
100%. And I think that was the the difference is like I had it was kind of a niche audience, and I wasn't even hitting that niche. And I thought that I was like, well, why am I even doing this tonight? But I've already committed to doing it. You know what I mean? And
I feel
then
that.
Like inversely, like I got raided by Ross the other day, like midstream, and they came in like while I was like just listening to people's music. And then I felt like I was like, okay, I have like 700 people in my room right now. Okay. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? How do I be entertaining? Like, because now we're just like listening to people's music and me reacting to it. Most of these people that came in here probably don't make music. So how do I keep them in here? And then I like thought about it too hard, I feel like. And I should have just not. And I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. It's just kind of not think about it.
That's what I'm a little bit worried about. I haven't been rated, but I'm worried that I'll miss being rated, because I do pay attention to the chat. But sometimes I'll be doing something, or there will be some sort of activity that I'll be participating in, and I'm not just constantly glued to the chat, because I know that a lot of people want the streamer to engage with the chat, but there needs to be a fine balance where you are paying attention to the chat, but you are also doing what you're doing and not just like stopping everything just to read the chat, Yeah. And so I think what I'm going to do is make some sort of alert that's really going to be
more out there than the ones you've got.
Yeah, like maybe in some like that, yeah. something like that, or maybe even louder. Not louder, longer. Sorry, I don't think I could go any louder. That shit kills my ears each time. But it's we'll see though. I'll try to push it, but at least that way I'll be less likely to miss it, even if my headphones are off or something. But I've never been rated. I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. It seems like it could be cool if people are like immediately like, oh yeah, like everything clicks for them with like, oh, this person's like, this is cool. This is something I'd watch. Yeah. But conversely, I'm worried that people would be like, hey, who the fuck is this guy? Fuck him. Piece of shit.
No, I don't think it's really like that, especially because well, you have to think about you got to think about the people that are rating you. I'm sure that there are like mean chats in the world. Like there's a channel where it's like the streamer's kind of a dick and they raid people. Yeah. They raid people just to like fuck with them. I'm sure that's a thing, but that'd be very odd and kind of, I'm pretty sure, against Twitch terms of service. But that's why you have your mods and like, you know. But I mean, I don't see why someone would want to raid you other than just to be like, hey, check this person out. And like, why would they could just leave, you know? Why would someone be like, who the fuck is this guy? Fucking hate him. Like, and just be like, yo, this dude ugly. Like, why would they do that when they could just have those thoughts and leave on their own, you know?
That's true. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be too worried about it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I still also need to learn a lot of things that I haven't tried yet, like hosting, you know, and I think you did something where you sent me something on Twitch, and I don't know how to use it or what to do with it, but it was like, Bill sent you something. Let me see. It wasn't a dick pic. It was, I gifted you a tier 1 subscription 1 month to Kill Bill the Rapper. Oh no, that's Twisted. Twisted gifted me
someone
a
gifted
tier 1
that to you,
subscription.
yeah.
Oh shit, that means I'm subscribed to you?
Yes. Oh yeah,
fuck. That means I can use the T-pose emoticons.
Yeah, well, the other day I thought that was you that subscribed to you. I didn't know that you got gifted it because like I was chilling on stream and then it just said like Rab the Rapper subscribed to you, and I was just like, oh, that's nice.
Oh damn! I mean, I would have definitely done that either way. It's just that usually you do stream like at 3 a.m. my time. I've come through a couple of times when I could, but I'd like pass out usually an hour in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have definitely subscribed. I didn't know that people could subscribe for you.
Yeah, that's kind of tight. It's like a gift type situation. Like I've seen a lot of people will like buy them in bulk. Yeah, like they'll buy like 4 or 5 tier 1 subs and then just like be in the chat like, hey, who wants this? You know, and they'll just gift them. So what can I do
as a tier 1 subscriber? Like, what do I get?
Okay, for me, you get the ability to highlight your text, which like
make the purple text.
Yeah, purple text. So if people can, so it's easier to see. Now I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have to spend bits for that or not. I'm not exactly sure, but you can use the emotes, which all the tier 1 emotes. I mean, honestly, my tier 1 emotes are the most gas of all of my emotes. So I don't even know. Like, I mean, like I wouldn't say gas. They're just silly. And then of course my tier 2 is the Pog Rav. That's you looking like a very pogly. And then my tier 3 is actually really cool, but it's the something that Sharky drew. It's not as silly as the other ones though. So I figure like it probably most people want to use the silly ones. So
yeah,
I gifted. But yeah, you could do that. You could do.
Could you do a subscriber only chat or something like that? Like,
yeah, but like I'm not partnered yet. I'm just an affiliate, and I don't think I can do subscriber only. Like I could do it if I have like follower. I don't even have follower only chat on. Like I need to turn that on. But you could technically speaking do subscriber only. I don't think I would do that though. Like I do want other people to be able to to do it without having to spend money on me. You know what I mean?
Maybe you could do like if the chat becomes overwhelming and you're trying to do a Q&A, you might at first do subscriber only before you sort of open up the floodgates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like the people that have put money forth, they get a chance to interact with you. Yeah. I could see that sort of making sense. And when you're partnered, you can also, is that when you can put ads, like not put ads, but like trigger ads on your stream?
I mean, you can actually do ads. Apparently, there were ads running on my last stream in the beginning that I didn't trigger them, but they were just there.
I see.
But
what does triggering ads do for you, though? Does it like give you a little bit of money or something?
I'm sure that it does, like for everybody who's in there. But then, like, the thing is I can't quite. Someone said that it makes me, because like a lot of people will have ad blocker on, right? Yeah. So like when you do that for people with ad blocker on, it's like nothing happens, you know, like it's just kind of like, but then everybody else is like 15 seconds behind. So like I was like, I don't know how true all that is or how that works, but like if that's the case, I don't think I would want to run an ad in the middle.
I think what was happening, like the streams that I was sort of a part of as a viewer years ago, I don't know if it's still the same way, is that there was this thing where like if the person hit ad, everyone who's not a subscriber would get an ad, but the subscribers wouldn't, and so the person would continue to talk, and they would see that, and then when the ad is done, the rest of the people would be watching what's happening now. They wouldn't get a recap of what just happened. They like they would miss what stuff. So that would make more sense. But my only issue with the idea of ads is like, how do you trigger them without abruptly sort of, I don't know, like halting your stream essentially. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like you'd have to do it like the only way I would want to do it is be like, we'll be right back after this commercial break, this piss break, and then like I would, even for the subscribers, like do like just a BRB or something like that, because I feel like it'd just be weird. Like I mean, you could just sit there awkwardly and be like, "Oh, hey guys, just talking to the subs here."
Just talk to the subs.
I'm gonna shit on you, and then they come on, and then they're like, "Oh, hey guys, I wasn't talking to the subs."
Yeah. So I don't know. That would make sense. You're right. Like grabbing a drink, or taking a piss. You know,
like on
taking
camera,
a shower,
like taking a piss on camera.
Taking a piss, shower, and drink at the same time on camera.
Yeah. Drink your piss on camera.
Right, while you shower
and piss
below your own piss. Yeah, right. Very good. Highbrow humor. If you guys like what you hear, go follow and subscribe to Bill on twitch.tv/Kill Bill the Rapper.
Just on twitch.tv. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. For more zingers like that one right there.
Piss.
Yeah. And if you guys want to subscribe to me, there is, you know, twitch.tv /Rav the Rapper, because exo_Rav and I am Rav were already taken. I suspect I took them years ago, but I don't remember what the email addresses were or the passwords were. So it's just like, fuck it, let's start afresh.
Wow, you fucked up.
Probably. And also, I don't have any fancy overlay stuff, but I want your opinion on my setup. Like, does it look okay to you, even though I don't have like the... Okay, cool. So, I mean, I'm hitting my target.
I'm just playing. It's really good. It's nice. I think that I appreciate that it's not... I appreciate that it's not... it's not super gamery looking, because I hate that shit. Like, I mean, it looks cool for some people, but I hate the whole, like... It looks like some kind of, you're stuck in a fucking transformer every time you switch scenes and shit.
With like a million things on it. And that was my, okay, I want to vent with you, because I know you
hit me.
You're
with
on
that.
the similar page as me.
Yappo.
So it's like, okay, a few things. Like everyone's so focused on Twitch being like for gamers, even though now it's like much more than that, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like whenever I was looking out for layout stuff or looking for advice, everybody was just constantly talking about gaming. Like, oh, this is why, like, you have to do this or that. Or, like, I'd be like, top 10 mistakes that people make, first-time streamers make, right? Because I was just trying to find videos where, like, okay, you know, like, make sure that when you switch between scenes. You might want to mute this, or like I didn't know, like maybe there were technical things that they would advise me on, or just like, hey, people hate it when you don't read the chat for a long time, or people do. I was looking for general advice, and instead, every time it'd be like, this is why you're a piece of shit with only 2 viewers. It's like, this is why you don't have. Okay, you guys tired of having no popularity and no fame? Well, stop being a fuck up. Here's top 10 advice to be more poppin'. And it's like, look, I'm not trying to get my fucking name. I'm not trying to get like a Hollywood star, right? In my name. I'm just trying to figure out what are the do's and don'ts. And all the do's and don'ts I kept finding were only to do with A, gamers, streamers, and B, had only like popularity in mind. It had nothing with like making shit fun. It was all just like, this is why nobody's watching, or try playing games that aren't Fortnite. You know, play games that aren't super popular, but also not too niche maybe necessarily. Oh, and don't look at your viewers, because if it goes up to 1 and you get excited and then goes back to 0, it might hurt you. Just imagine that there's always viewers in there. And it's like,
yeah, cool, but like that's not, none of that stuff. That's more of like mindset attitudes and like strategies for, but like my thing is like, what if you have an idea of like what you want to do as a streamer? You know, you already got that in your head, and then like you're sitting there just trying to figure out how to make that happen in the least shitty way. You know, like you want it to be just a good stream, and then every time you go on there, it's just like, so you want to be the next Dr. Disrespect? Well, this is how you do it. You gotta get good at the game, and if you're not good at the game, get good at the game. No one's gonna watch. No one's gonna watch you. And I'm like sitting here just like, listen, if people were watching me based off of how good I am at games, I would have like 3 viewers. Okay? Yeah. I'm not very good at video games.
Right.
You heard it here first.
And I mean, like, yeah, because all of that advice was for just like, the advice was like, make sure you also have a Twitter and a Facebook and an Instagram, because you want to be able to promote yourself I'm like, none of this applies to me. Where are the tutorial videos for C-list online individuals like myself? You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, like where you're starting, you're new to streaming, but you're also like, you already have somewhat of a presence, and you're just trying to make sure that you perform well in the sense that like you make shit as entertaining as possible with as few technical issues as possible, like just that. And that was impossible to find. And all the layouts that I was looking up, because for a long time I was just looking to buy a template or like a layout that would be chill. And there were lots of really dope ones, but they were all centered around gaming.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's a gamer's world, baby.
Lasers and like little lights, and so colorful. Everything is so just, but always like 2-tone, 3-tone layouts. They would all like follow the same structure. It'd be like, oh, this one's got pink, green, and black, and a little red sometimes. And this one's this and that, but they all have a little bit of movement to them, and they're super epic and gamery, and it's like you're in a spaceship. And that's cool, especially if like you're able to maybe like design your room to look like a fucking cockpit of like Evangelion cockpit. That would be fucking tight. And then having your layout to sort of work with that, like based off of the anime. But instead it just seemed like such copy paste type shit. And that's why I opted for like, just let me just make my own shit. I'm not going to have any dope layouts or anything. I'll just make my own alerts. I'll position myself in like a corner of screen and have different scenes, enough different scenes to keep it fresh, and hire someone to like animate. Like my intro and everything was just like just an idea. I didn't know if like that made sense to have as a stream. Just I thought, wouldn't that be cool? That's it. I didn't like look for references online, and it's weird. I wonder if in the coming years, I feel like in order for Twitch to transition into being not just an exclusively like gaming hub, there need to be people out there making these templates and overlays and videos in terms of suggestion and everything that isn't just exclusive to gamers, is how I see it.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's just going to go through those like growing pains of like, you have to understand that Twitch is still a primarily gaming platform and that we are kind of outliers. Like, that it's not.
That's true.
I mean, obviously there's people who are multi-streamers. I think you would consider us multi-streamers. I think that's the word. I don't know how that works, but it's like you kind of are a variety type people. You know, you kind of just do whatever, and it's more about like the personality or whatever than the actual content. Like you don't watch a lot of Let's Players because they're good at games. You watch them because they're funny or
because of their personalities,
or
right?
You like them, yeah, you know. And I think that you're gonna see more and more of that. I've seen a lot more of it since the quarantine. You know, this is something that I've been talking about doing for a long time, but then now it's just like I saw everybody else like jumping on this like the streaming bandwagon, and I was like, well, fuck, like now is as good a time as ever, and now it's cool because there's a lot of really dope people doing it just because they're all bored, and that's tight. Like you're seeing more and more and more people jumping on that, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's like a good thing. Like, especially, I think it's a good thing, like networking wise. And I don't even mean like in a sense of like just trying to like meet cool people, but there's a lot of people that I haven't, like I wouldn't have normally talked to, but because they're streaming, I can like talk to them about it or like be like, hey, how's your stream going? Or like, can I get on there? Like something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's
absolutely.
Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty.
Yeah, it definitely is nifty.
Just like your mom.
Oh shit. I'm glad you said that because it's ad time.
Oh fuck, time for ad.
And it has everything to do with moms. So it's crazy that you just I appreciate how smoothly you transition our conversations into these ads. So you know what, since you're the one who sort of went ahead and made the transition in the first place, I'd say you take it. The floor is yours.
Okay.
What are we doing?
I just got a simple question for you, Rav, and only you and not the viewer.
Okay.
Have you ever just wanted to fucking just hit your mom over the head with a steel chair?
I plead the fifth.
Well, we all know what that means, that you've already done it. So, but you don't want to, you think to yourself, maybe I shouldn't hit my mom with a steel chair because I could go to jail for assault or possibly manslaughter depending on how it goes.
And also, I could kill her maybe, or give her permanent brain damage, or
who cares about that though? So anyway,
I guess so.
That's why we have the product here for you today. Here at Stanley's Mom Killers, they pride themselves. Sorry, the notes are a little written weird. They pride themselves on their ability to maim or kill mothers in a discreet and orderly fashion. Now, not humane at all, just discreet and orderly. So this is how Stanley's Mom Killers works. So you're chilling, your mom comes in your room, says, hey, you're almost 30 years old, why are you in here dicking around looking at your naked Chinese cartoons? You know, something I'm sure that you've heard your mom yell at you several times.
Yeah, dude.
And you say, man, I want to fuck her up.
I want to kill her.
You call Stanley's up and they send a former WWE wrestler David Batista down with a steel chair. And if you pay a little extra, they'll even hire former WWE commentator Jim Ross to yell, as God is my witness, she is broken in half, after Dave Batista hits her in the head with the steel chair. So let's talk about the technology here. Let's go deeper into the technology.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious.
I thought that maybe you could
Oh, it's okay.
read
I've got
it.
the notes before
You
me,
got the
but
notes.
just like
You
with
got 'em.
yours, they are written in Spanish, and so I'm having to sort of translate them as
It's Brazilian,
read them. So
actually. It's Brazilian
same
dialect
thing.
of Portuguese.
I'm deciphering it right now,
It's
and
tough
what I can see
dialect,
here,
Brazilian.
it's an email thing where you kind of like you request their services, you pay with PayPal, and they send a man, two men.
Oh, not just
one to
any
beat you
man.
up and-
It's not just any man.
Of
It's
course.
former WWE star David Batista.
So yes, they send specifically Batista, and he comes over and he has a steel chair, and I think most of us are familiar with steel chairs, but if you aren't, it's basically a chair that is made of steel, just sort of beats your mother to death. Now I know, Bill, you have a lot of experience of using this product. Just the other day, your mother burst into your room and said you're 40 years old and you can't stop jacking off to the Teletubbies.
Yeah,
and
that is something she said.
And
that
honestly, I'm
bitch.
worried for you. She said, I'm really concerned for you, but you know what? You are my son, and if there's anything I can do to help, you just tell me. And of course, in a fit of rage, while she was talking to you, you're already on the phone with Batista. Just be like, come
Can
and
I
get her.
recreate the noise that I made when she said, I'm really concerned for you. I think possibly you should go into therapy.
I'll be your mom.
Okay.
I'll be your mom and you'll be you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm really concerned for you, and I think you ought to consider going into therapy.